Hello. And here we are. So, excuse that. So we are making eggplant parm, a fast version, a quick and easy version of eggplant parm. So it'd be delicious. So obviously the first thing you're gonna need is, well, first thing I'm gonna need is to put this down over here so it's close proximity. And you'll need an eggplant. You'll need some marinara. I sadly have a jar of it. I'll explain that later because my marinara sauce that I make is so good. I just ran out, so I'm going to use that. And then you're going to need some flour and some panko, and I'll explain that as we go. Italian seasoning, mozzarella cheese, some kind of blend. So all that would be really good. So the first thing you want to do is take your eggplant and slice off your top and your bottom. I wish we could slice off some of my own bottom, but anyway. And then just peel it. So peel the way you would normally peel. A lot of people don't peel it. And then a lot of people also salt their eggplant. So by salting, if you salt it, you know what I mean. If you don't salt it, then you don't, and I'll explain a little bit. So you would put salt on it to draw moisture out, because sometimes eggplant has a lot of water in it. So I don't salt it, partly because I'm lazy and don't want to be bothered, but also because I have ways to dry it out, which I'll show you, which will be also add to flavor. So just peel it nice. Peel it so it's nice and smooth, just the top layer, and this peelings can go in your compost pile, which I know everybody has. So compost, and then you're gonna slice it. And when you slice the eggplant, you're gonna slice it kind of thinnish. Think about when you're eating, how big a slice are you gonna eat? So slice like that. Try to make them as uniform as possible, and then they'll cook that uniformly. So here I am slicing away. This is for 2 people, and I always overcook for 2. So if there's leftovers, that's fine. Looks like there could be some leftover. Depends how many layers. That's another thing. You can layer this quite a bit. So that one's a little thicker than the others, but so 1 medium-sized eggplant, peeled and sliced, and there you have that. So then we set that aside for a second, and then you're going to take some flour, and you can actually, if you have cornmeal, you can use cornmeal. So I have some flour and some, excuse me, I get thirsty, and some panko, plain panko. Unless you can use a seasoned one too, but I also season it myself with some garlic powder. I love garlic, so we'll just add a lot of that. And that one's empty. Thank goodness I have another one. And the other good thing is Italian seasoning, which I'm almost at the end of that one too. And I use Italian seasoning a lot at the end of that one. So you put those together, stir that all up. If you need more, you need more. But the whole point here is that you're gonna coat your eggplant with that. So I know that coating the eggplant, you can use 2 ways. You can dip it in egg to make it easier, which is what I'm gonna do. Or you can spray it. You could even spray it with a little bit of olive oil. Whoa. Sorry. Shell one in there. That can go in the compost pile as well. A lot of people say rinse your shells for the compost pile, but I don't do that. So then whip it up good here. Whip those eggs up nice and good. So at this point I was talking about the salting of the eggplant. You don't need to do that because we're using so much of the flour, and the cornmeal really helps a ton. But anyway, So then you take your one slice here, and dip it in the egg. I'm dipping it in the egg. You can't really see, but here's my bowl with egg. And here's my bowl mixed up that I just put the flour and the panko. If you had cornmeal, that would be a nice crisp one to use. And you coat them good and let it sit. And let it sit for a couple of minutes. And it kind of coats on there. So coat all of your slices of eggplant. There's that. But anyway, in this mixture, you can add whatever seasonings you want. There's many things that you like for flavor. So because it's basically an Italian type of dish, I'm adding the Italian seasoning and a lot more garlic powder. I really, really cannot stress enough about garlic powder. It's very good. But anyway, this is absorbing the moisture so that when you go to fry it, which we're going to do in a minute, I didn't say it was low fat. I didn't say it was low calorie, but it is a perfect dish for a meatless Monday. So our meatless Monday, I don't know how many of you participate in that, but if we're supposed to be, for healthier reasons, eating less meat, I think that's how Meatless Monday came about. Then this is one of the perfect solutions for that, right? It's sticking all over my fingers. So do I do measurements? So somebody asked me about measurements for what I cook. Really hard to have a measurement of something, especially because the eggplant is different size. You know, each time you have an eggplant, it's not the exact same size. So you're going to use a little bit different amounts of the flour or the cornmeal or the panko with your seasoning. So it's not set in stone. So these slices, the first slices will probably taste a little different than the second slices. So, but just let them sit. Once they have their seasoning, the flour coating on them, let them sit a minute. Let me get a towel here to wipe my fingers. But if you let them sit, that's what's going to absorb that moisture. Like I said, no reason to salt them. Okay, I'm making another batch here because I have a couple more pieces that I want to put together. So it's a brand new thing of garlic, so I'm going to open that up. So, meantime, you could preheat your oven. Preheat it for 350, your basic temperature, and how they discovered that. If it's convection, it automatically preheats to 25 degrees less, right? But I'll probably do it regular. All right, that's my new garlic powder. I won't go through the trouble of letting it go through the holes. Whoa, probably should have. It's all right. And I can smell it. When I can smell something, that's saying something too, because I have a bad sniffer. Not because of any, I don't know why. It's just I got a cold one time and it went away and never came back, that sense of smell. Okay, put a lot of garlic powder. Here we are, the panko, the flour. Again, no set measurements. And you'll get used to whatever flavor you like. Once you do it one time, you'll say, oh, I think that would have been better with a whole lot more garlic powder. So then the next time you put more garlic powder. And I think that's how you have to cook. So throw yourself down some measurements if you want, but that's not gonna help much. So I have to get another plate. The one thing I do is dirty a lot of dishes. So I'll put that over there. And eggplant those. And then we're gonna preheat the oven, and then you're gonna also put some olive oil in a frying pan. I happen to use some copper pans I don't know if any of you have used copper or not, but the copper pans tend to, as long as you don't put them in the dishwasher, and Bob puts them in the dishwasher, but don't put them in the dishwasher because they stay less sticky if you don't. So I don't put them in the dishwasher, and what I do is put oil on them, and you kind of treat them like you would like a cast iron or something, but they stay pretty darn good. All right, so that was 2 eggs, by the way. 2 eggs, 1 eggplant. I got seasoning all over them. They're sitting to absorb this to help dry them out. And then pouring my olive oil, and wait till the olive oil is hot. Wait till it's hot before you add the eggplant, because otherwise it'll get soggy, and that's the whole point. You want this to be crunchy. If this part is crunchy, it changes the whole dish. Okay, there's a nice fat slice. I'll just get that one already in here. Throw this in the sink. So my fancy kitchen here for my cooking. All right, so that's all done. So I'll throw this aside as well. Rinse this. You're looking at a blank screen, and I'm going to move you. I'm going to take you with me over to the stove. Take my wine. I always cook with wine. You know why? Because it relaxes me. And where am I going to put this? I'm going to put this right here. All right, that's my copper pan. I'm going to put this leaning against my wine bottle. Then you can see my copper pan. So I'm going to add some oil right here. Quite a bit so it covers the bottom. And I'm going to turn it up, big burner, up on high. So now it's on medium high. Let's go medium high. Now these have been sitting since I've been talking to, because we pretty much started right away, right? So we're going to put those there while you're waiting for that to get high. Well, not waiting for it to get high, you know what I mean? I'm going to open up my jar. This is Newman's, which I really like, and it's marinara. It's not pasta sauce, it's marinara. And I doctor that up. I doctor it up with Italian seasoning because it's good. And so, I can pour it into something else. How do I tell if this is hot enough? So, what my mom used to do is throw some water in, and if it spatters, it's hot enough. I've got to put my apron on. I need my apron for hot stuff, because it spatters and stains my clothes and hurts me. So let's see, doctor up this sauce. So let's pour it into a big measuring cup. You hear me banging around over here. So I'll pour it into the measuring cup. La, la, la. And then throw a little bit of Italian seasoning, because that's so good. And then we'll stir that up. Stir this up quite a bit, just so that's mixed. Tell if this is hot. So here's my marinara. You can add other seasonings too. You can add more garlic if you want. You can actually chop up garlic, which I was going to do, changed my mind. So here it is. It's getting warm. Not spattering quite yet. In the meantime, I'll get out my Parmesan cheese. When you cook with Italian, you absolutely want fresh parm. All right, here I go. I'm going to add some of these in here. And flip them when they're done. So this will be the first one, is our trial Oh, it didn't sizzle. Not hot enough. All right, waiting a little longer, then I'll put my stuff away. One thing I also do in the kitchen is I often clean as I go. Not everybody does that. It's okay if you don't. I cut the cheese here. Cut that so I can put it in my shredder, because fresh parm is so good. You know how the restaurants have these wheels for your cheese grater? So, and they don't leave them on the table. And I asked the hostess one time, why do you not leave it? Why don't you just leave it? Because I might want more. Oh, we're not allowed to. People steal them. I can see why they would. I would never steal, but it's a pretty handy dandy little thing, so I got my own. So there, they don't have to worry about me stealing it anymore. Okay, frying these up. Now I'm just gonna place that in a pan. So I take my little misto here. My little misto, pump this up. I need a new misto, I think, and keep that on my pan. This is handy dandy little pan too. This is Temptations. It's called Temptations, and it is very pretty. Matches my kitchen, and it comes with a cover, a tray, everything, so that you could make things ahead, bring it someplace. I hear sizzling over here. This is perfect. Okay, starting to sizzle, so let me add more. There's another one. There's another one. This could be boring to watch while I cook through all of this. So if I learn how to fast forward, what I would do is fast forward through this part so that you don't have to be part of the frying process with me. Oh, you know, the other thing I forgot is fresh ground salt and pepper. I always use salt and pepper. I know salt isn't good for you, so don't add that if you don't want to. I happen to love salt, and I love pepper. Two of my favorites. It's Italian, so these will fry up nice. And then when they do, we will, I'll tell you when we get there. I'm going to pause this for now so you're not watching boredness.